You are live. I always like this count back. All right. Good night, good morning, good afternoon, because you can be anywhere in the world. And we welcome you here tonight because we're going to have a lot of fun. And my name is Miriam Cunha, if you don't know me yet. I'm speaking to you from Canada, from Kelowna, and our special guest, Tina Dubois, is also in Canada, but she's in, I forgot the name of the city where you are.
Roslyn, British Columbia.
Roslyn.
Yeah,
So she's got the advantage of being a little bit more to the south,
a little bit.
which is a little bit less cold here.
I don't know. I do live on the side of a mountain, so
Higher, I think you're higher than here.
we are much higher altitude, and we
Mhm.
get a lot of snow in the winter. A lot.
They're planning a lot of snow for us this winter too.
Well,
I don't
Roslyn is a ski
know.
town, so we have a ski resort in our town. So good snow years are really wonderful things for us.
Snow, it's beautiful, but Ah, so Tina also is the founder of the Metaphysical School, and we're here tonight to share some very interesting and new activities that are coming in November. Lots of people looking forward to that, and we get to know more directly from Tina. So
You
how
guys
are
get the
you?
sneak peek of everything. I haven't shown this to anybody but the teachers,
Woo!
so it's like you guys get to all the teasers. It's very exciting for me because it's the first time I get to share this with the public other than the faculty at Metaphysical School. So
So
I'm
Tina,
excited and nervous.
some people don't know what the Metaphysical School is and how it came about. You can give us a little summary and
Sure. Thank you, Miriam. It's really wonderful to be here. Thank you for having me on your show again.
thank you for
um,
coming.
So, what the Metaphysical School is, we are a video education and community platform, and we are dedicated to helping healers, seekers, mystics, and seers progress on their enlightenment journeys in a safe and supportive environment. We have teachers from around the world, including Miriam, who has finished a video course on numerology, the power of numbers, and it's awesome. It's wonderful. And basically, we are a school where if you become a student, you are a member of the school, and we have video courses to share and master classes and the community of other students and teachers. And we're all there to support each other so that we can heal, learn, and grow together. So
That's one
that's
thing I love from your school. It's that connect connection, like I don't know. You just said the perfect words. The community helping and supporting each other. It's amazing.
yeah. We've had a number of changes. We launched in May of this year, and we had some new additions, some new features added to the school right away that I didn't quite have time to add before we launched, but I got it done. And the new additions are amazing and wonderful. We have weekly intuitive activities for our students to participate in. And like in the master class that we're going to talk about, the same thing. We're going to have webinar related intuitive activities for everyone in the masterclass to talk about as well. So, yeah.
And what is a master class?
What is the masterclass? Well, so our big event for the Metaphysical School coming up in November is the Intuitive Awakening Masterclass. So it's going to be a 3-week event with 2 live streamed webinars a week starting November 10th. And the webinars will run Tuesdays and Fridays for 3 weeks and at 4 p.m. Pacific. And what I mean by masterclass is I actually looked up the definition of masterclass before I decided to call our first event a masterclass. And basically, a masterclass is concentrated education by multiple teachers.
So that's the definition. I didn't
Yeah,
know either because I've seen masterclass this and
masterclasses everywhere, right?
yeah.
So this masterclass is going to be 6 webinars with 25 faculty speakers, of which Miriam is included. So thank you, Miriam.
Thank you.
We've already started pre-recording some video segments for the teachers who can't make it live for the live streams due to scheduling, or they're literally on the other side of the world, like Australia. The time zone for Australia for 4 p.m. Pacific is not great. So yeah, we have 25 amazing faculty speakers who are joining us to talk about all things intuitive awakenings. So we're all really super excited, and the wisdom that's being shared is just amazing. Like I get to see the wisdom before most people, at least with the pre-recorded segments. So it's so exciting. This is a masterclass that I have had planned for over a year, and the pieces of it just kind of all came together really quickly, and the teachers have been so supportive and so generous. It's amazing. I'm super excited for this event to come up.
I think all of us admire your capacity of organizing so many layers of things together and making it happen. Although you might think, oh, but it doesn't matter. You made all of this happen already. It doesn't matter how long it took, but you made it happen, and you're so focused on what you want to accomplish. I admire that on you a lot.
Oh, thank you. Yes, this masterclass, it really has been a year in the making. It's somewhat synchronistic, actually, how it happened. I don't know if other people experience this, but I occasionally don't sleep very well, and I wake up in the middle of the night with intuitive downloads. And I can honestly,
I can relate to that.
many of us can, right? It's something we're going to talk about in the Intuitive Awakening Masterclass, I have no doubt. But yeah, I literally woke up at 3 a.m. one very early morning.
I just thought about something.
Yeah.
There should be a warning. Okay, you want to become an intuitive, you want to awake, you should know that the masters don't let you sleep very often.
I don't know about being a master, but I generally don't sleep very well, but that's kind of in the middle of the night, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. That's when a lot of intuitive messages hit me. It's pretty standard for me, actually. that's the time of day that these things
quiet
come.
time, like the energy, it's more quiet, and then the channels open up, and it's easier for them to communicate with us, and we are like more then awake. So you have to sleep with a little.
Must be the case. Because during the day I have what I call hamster brain. So my brain is always going, and I have the little hamster on the wheel all the time. And so I just call it hamster brain. And yeah, maybe that's why my intuitive messages come in the middle of the night, because it's when my brain is the quietest. I don't know. But I can tell you that at the time it was the chapters of a book, but now they're actually the steps of an intuitive awakening. 12 steps of an intuitive awakening came to me right away.
And I have the feeling that there are more layers you're going to be unveiling from that. This is just the beginning.
I wouldn't be surprised. Because this is the Intuitive Awakening Masterclass, and it's the first webinar is based on the 12 steps that synchronistically downloaded, came to me, whatever you want to say, came to me that night. And I'm super excited to share them with the world for the first time.
Thank you. And
Yeah.
tell me about the teachers. You have teachers from all over the world, or
We
how is
do have teachers from all over the world. So a number of our teachers are from British Columbia. It just worked out that way. We have a teacher in Cairo, Egypt, Leslie Zare. We have a teacher in Sydney, Australia, who is Anna Garcia, our law of attraction coach. We have a number of teachers from the US and Canada. I don't even know where to go from there. Many of them participated in last year's Masterclass event. So last year was our first Masterclass for Metaphysical School. It was the Energy Empowerment Masterclass, and it was amazing. The webinars run anywhere a little over an hour and a half, so 90 minutes. And again, it was a similar platform. We had 6 live webinars. And just like this year, we're going to have 6 90-minute plus webinars. And the platform is, I'm going to introduce all of the faculty speakers. I'm also going to do my own teaching segment, which is something I didn't do last year. So I'm pretty excited and thrilled about that. And yeah, each of the teachers have 10 minutes to share their stories and wisdom on the topic of that webinar. So our first webinar is Thriving Through an Intuitive Awakening, and I'm going to tease a little bit of that information shortly. And then we have 4 metaphysical archetype specific webinars, and they are Awakening as a Healer, Awakening as a Seeker, Awakening as a Mystic, and Awakening as a Seer. So I've recently put out and published a quiz that a number of people have done. It's called What Metaphysical Archetype Are You? And it identifies which of the metaphysical archetypes you are, your primary one anyway.
I didn't tell you, but I loved that quiz.
Aww,
and I have a question for you, because for me it was a little difficult, because I had different things I could choose from each question. And I was like, okay, I'll just go for one and see what happens. But I think right. you could be more than one there.
You can be more than one.
You can be.
Because the archetypes are also intertwined. So the next version of that quiz, which is going to be released during the masterclass, for masterclass participants first, they get to experience the quiz first, is which metaphysical archetypes are you? And the results, rather than giving you just one archetype, will give you which percentages of archetypes you are.
That's perfect. Okay.
Exactly. I knew that people were going to be asking for it. So it's just waiting in the wings for our masterclass to start. And then our masterclass participants are going to be the first people to try out this new quiz. And I'm super excited because as the creator of the quiz, I get to see all of the results. And the results that have been coming in are mind-blowing to me. Like, I'm so surprised. Do you want to know what the results are so far?
Yes.
In terms of like how many people are what? So of the several hundred people who have taken the quiz so far, the archetypes of the healer and the mystic are about a third each of the results. And then the seeker is next with usually around 20%, and the seer has the least amount of results so far at under 10%. So the healer and the mystic are about a third each, and then the seeker and the seer combined are a third each.
The rest.
That is not what I thought would happen. I honestly thought it would be pretty well partitioned about a quarter each, but that's not what I'm seeing. So the people in the world who identify as healers, and whether that's because they like crystal healing or energy healing, whatever it is, there are more of them compared to the seeker and the seer, as well as the mystic. So my thoughts on that are people are awakening to their intuitive abilities.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. I think that's what's happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
I felt goosebumps now. It's
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's why I think the healer and the mystic are so prevalent in the results. The
Mm-hmm.
world kind of needs those archetypes right now. And so those are the archetypes that are coming forward. So I guess.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Amazing. You have an amazing piece of data there. And it's proof.
And
It's
it's so
proof.
fun.
Yeah, it's actually scientific proof because well, it's a result. It's data, right?
It's data, yeah.
It's data, and it proves an awakening.
Is
That's
happening.
very interesting. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Which is why the awakening as a healer, mystic, seeker, and seer webinars are going to be so powerful, because not only are we going to be talking about the awakening stage, but we're going to talk about all 5 stages. And in the masterclass, I'm going to share what those 5 stages are. But I'm going to share what the 5 stages are and how to identify where you are on the path of an archetype and how to get to the step that you want to get to. So
Tina, I don't think there's like all these years of being on the paths, I would say, because there are different paths, different little paths in between one big path. But I haven't seen anybody that has worked on that. Uh, well, first gathering the data you got and making that, I don't know how to express that, but organization of the different levels of how much you've been on a path. I've never seen that before. So
I hadn't seen it either,
mm-hmm.
which is one of the reasons why Metaphysical School exists. Because when I was going through my own intuitive awakening, and I was at the stage of seeking answers and finding truth, there were some gaps in what I could find in terms of information online. And so if I couldn't find the information, I decided I was going to curate and organize the information myself. So that's really why Metaphysical School exists. It's to fill that gap of missing information that I couldn't find when I was looking. It might be out there, I don't know, but this is just one
Yeah,
route.
it's been always information. It's everywhere, and it's on its own different origin, and different people teaching different things, and you have to put the pieces of the puzzle together. And
Yes.
but nobody ever organized all of this together. I haven't seen it, and I think it's unique, and that's why I think there is more, coming. Yeah, yeah.
Well, Metaphysical School is about learning, right? One of the pieces of the school, our tagline is heal, learn, and grow together. So so one of the big pieces is learning. And I like, my introduction is I am a teacher and student of various metaphysical topics. And so I want to learn. Just in case you're wondering which metaphysical archetype is my primary, that would be seeker, who is the person who has a deep desire and thirst for pursuing knowledge and truth. So yeah, I'm a seeker. I'm pretty sure that's what you were too, Miriam. Were you also the seeker?
The choices I made gave me the mystic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I'm a
I'm also
seeker
not
too.
surprised by that.
I'm a seeker too. So I'm always I seek less than I used to, because there is a point that you start getting answers inside, and like I'm not looking
Yes.
into books anymore as I used to, or so
Yeah.
there are stages of things, right?
Well, that would be the enlightened stage. So again, I was talking about there are 5 stages, and those are just stages that I've identified. They might not resonate with everybody, and that's okay. But I just wanted to figure out a way to organize the steps of an enlightenment journey, you could say, for each of the archetypes. And so that stage that you're talking about, when you don't really accumulate information all of the time, and the information that you are looking for basically shows up in your life.
Yes,
that
yes.
that's the enlightened stage of the mystic.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was like, okay, I know this already, so I this time I'm going to use it for something else, and then you're just flowing, and things are happening. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
another thing I was thinking about your school, it's this. I know you've been planning it for a long time, but it's happening this year, and now this master class is happening in a stage that we are on Earth right now. That it's I find it like the peak of the transition to the new Earth, and this school it's part of the new Earth. It's already vibrating with the new thriving moment of this planet.
Well, the pieces have to exist before they can come together and make a whole, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Feels kind of cool to be one of the pieces, I think. Yeah.
So do you want to share with us something new there? You said you were going to share the screen, no? or do you have
Yeah.
something else? You
No, I
Okay.
think now is a really good time
Okay,
to
that's good.
share. So what I'm going to share are the first 6 of to the 12 steps of an intuitive awakening. So for each of the webinars, I was saying I'll have a teaching segment. And so this is a sneak peek of the teaching segment that I will be doing in the first webinar called Thriving Through an Intuitive Awakening. So hopefully I can set up my screen share. Is that working?
It says it's coming. There you go. It's
Okay.
working. Yeah.
So this is a very small sneak peek of my teachings for thriving through an intuitive awakening. So the first thing that I cover, I go right to the basics, and share my definitions and answers to these questions, so that we're all on the same page. And if they don't resonate with everybody, that's okay. But I like to answer questions as straightforward as possible. I don't think anything about metaphysics has to be complicated. I think it can be really simple, and that's kind of it's really how I teach, is finding the simplest answers and the easiest ways to explain something. So the first question I answer is, what is intuition? So intuition is the ability to receive energetic information through our clairsenses. So our clairsenses are our extrasensory senses. They include clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, and etc. There are 8 or more clairsenses. And the wider our range of energetic frequencies that we receive, the more information we are open to receive as a whole. Some senses may be stronger than others. For example, I used to say that I had a very strong sense of clairvoyance, which is clairseeing, but now I actually think I might be stronger in clairaudience, which is really not what I thought was going to happen when my intuitive awakening happened. I'm a very visual person. I am not an audio learner at all, but I hear messages in language very readily. I think it's because I'm so passionate and enamored by language that my clairaudience is pretty strong. So
Interesting.
I know,
I
right?
hear from the different social medias that people are hearing more things lately, and they don't
I'm
know
not
what it
surprised.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Well, I've read a lot on social media as well that ringing ears is a very common symptom going on right now, and ringing ears is also um, an ascension symptom of your intuitive awakening. So
And some people are hearing people talking, and then there's like, oh, there's nobody here, and I'm hearing these people talking.
yep,
So people, but they're not. They haven't been enough time on the path to understand. Okay, there's something awakening, so it's kind of freaking out people. So,
yes, yep, exactly. But it's one of the signs of your clairaudience.
mhm.
Um, your clairaudient energetic frequency range expanding. That's what that is. And my last point for what is intuition and your clairsenses is that they can be developed to increase their energetic range and control their volume. Yeah.
Exactly.
yeah. So a lot of
I made a
people
I
a
made
lot
a
of people in
choice.
an intuitive awakening, they get overwhelmed, right? They feel
Yeah.
overwhelmed by the sudden increase in energetic information that they're flooded with. But you can practice and you
Hmm.
can control the range and you can control their volume as well. So
Yeah,
it's
you
totally
make a
possible.
decision. Yeah, it's an inner decision. I've done it a long time ago. I said I don't want to see, I don't want to see it. I just want to know. So
Yeah.
this is what happens. But now I'm starting to see when I astral travel, which for me is better than actually physically seeing.
Yeah.
So everybody has a limit of, okay, this is what I can handle, and this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. And it's all about intention.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's just like I kind of explained it to a friend of mine is, your clairsenses are just, they're a part of your body, they're a part of who you are. And what if you thought of your clairsenses as your right arm? Do you allow your right arm and your right hand to do things that you don't tell it to do? Not really. You control your arm, right?
Hmm.
Just like you can control your your intuition, your energy reception. You can control all of that. Just one of the tricks, I guess, one of the tricks and tips that I can share is imagine, have the intent that your clairsenses, whichever one it might be, is just like your right arm and you control it. It doesn't control you.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yes.
that's very important to not let control you, because there are lots of kinds of entities there in the non-seeing world, and you have to learn how to draw the line, your
Yep.
boundaries. That's very important.
Yep. Boundaries and intention, very important
Hmm.
things. Yeah. So the next question that I answer is, what is an intuitive awakening? So an intuitive awakening is known by other names, such as a psychic or spiritual awakening. And some people might refer to it as a dark night of the soul. And I
Hmm.
kind of I put that into one of the steps of an intuitive awakening because
Uh-huh.
I make the 12 steps, the whole process from beginning to end. So what is an intuitive awakening? It is the step along one's enlightenment journey when the energetic frequency range of one or more of our clairsenses suddenly increases and we are open to receiving more energetic information. So that piece there, the step along one's enlightenment journey. Just so that we're all on the same page, the next question I answer is, what is enlightenment? So this is what I think enlightenment is. Notice how there's not a lot of room on this slide, because I don't think it's very complicated. I don't think it has to be very hard. So enlightenment is a journey of unraveling the mysteries of yourself, the world, and the universe. It's shining light on truths and gaining wisdom through experience. It doesn't have to be more complicated than that. And I like how, the shining light has to do with, it's thematic to enlightenment. That's kind of how,
and the language turns into a different kind of language, which is the light language. And that's why you can't really conceptualize it in our actual language. And that's why there's not so many words. It is what it is, and you will know when it is.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Point. So the next thing I talk about after I've laid some groundwork are the 12 steps of an intuitive awakening. And I try to make it very clear that these don't necessarily have to be linear. It is not one step after the other. One of my absolute favorite quotes is by Barry Gillespie that says, "The path isn't a straight line, it's a spiral. You continually come back to the things you thought you understood and see deeper truths."
Exactly.
This is the same thing with intuitive awakenings. So most people don't have just one. Most people have many. I can tell you from my own experience that I can identify 3 intuitive awakenings in the last 10 years. The first one was definitely the hardest. And the second and third were progressively easier. And now it's just like when my clair senses have another leap in the information, the energetic frequency range that they receive, it's not so much a big deal anymore. So if you are experiencing a rough one, it gets better.
So next time you go like, oh, okay, there we go again.
Yeah, but it gets. I think it gets easier. At least that's my experience. It might not be everybody's experience, but it has been mine. So,
and you know again, that the Mayan calendar also has the one that I studied at Tzolk'in has the same concept of the spiral journeys, and also starting one, you end one and you start another one, and that journey is composed of
spiral.
Yeah,
that's why they're spiral.
Yeah,
and so the next one builds on the one before, so that you can see deeper truths. That's
and on this journey we are at you after 52 years you complete the entire journey, and then you start again from the year you were born, from a different perspective. So you start attracting the same kind of things in life, but you have a different perspective, and you can go through it easily because you already went through once.
Nice. So I have some things to look forward to, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm not quite there yet. Okay, so I just want to reiterate that the steps are not linear. And let's begin with the first one. Again, this is a sneak peek, so we're going to go through the first 6. The first step in an intuitive awakening I call the intuitive child, also known as, or AKA, innate intuitiveness or innate intuition. We are all born intuitive. Our energy, and just it's the difference between our energetic frequency ranges that are different between different people. Hopefully that makes sense. The next step along the intuitive awakening is called falling asleep. So if we're all born intuitive, why aren't we all intuitive throughout our entire lives? That's because of step 2, which is also known as intuitive rejection. So as we grow up, our experiences teach us that intuition is not always accepted in society these days. And therefore, what happens is we turn off our intuitive senses. So I'm sure many people who are experiencing intuitive awakenings, they may or may not remember moments in their life when they shared some piece of intuitive information that came to them and they were told they were wrong. That it's very common. And what happens from that is we start denying our sense of intuition and we turn our intuitive senses off.
Yeah, I think people hear all kinds of things. I heard from my dad say, "Oh, you shouldn't be looking into these things because you're going to go crazy."
Yeah, yeah,
So, and
exactly.
then I was
Just
like, "Oh,
moments
okay."
like that from authority figures and our parents and family members. Exactly. So the third step, after we have turned off our intuitive senses, I call sleepwalking, also known as functioning without intuition. And during this stage, our intuition is turned off or drastically reduced. And what that means is if we are born with a certain range of energetic frequencies that we receive, that range would be reduced. So that's why drastically reduced. At this stage, also, we start to feel like something is missing in our lives. So from this stage, we go to the fourth stage, which is probably the one that most people can remember in their lives. Most people, most people recognize this part. It can be very big. I call it the living nightmare, and yes, it's a sensational title because it's rough. It's really rough. But another way of putting it is the downward spiral. So
Yeah,
at
that's
this stage,
usually when the dark night of the
yes.
soul happens. Yeah.
Thank you. That is exactly right. So when I said at the beginning that people often identify an intuitive awakening with a dark night of the soul, this is that step. I just don't call it that because my titles
Nightmare.
are thematic to sleeping and waking. So I
Hmm.
call it the living nightmare because it's rough. It can be really rough. So at this stage, the integral missing piece of our being, in other words, our intuition, progressively affects our health. We start experiencing dis-ease related to our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies. And in this stage, we also approach rock bottom and generally reach it. So down
Yeah.
spiral of
Accidents can
health, yeah,
happen. Yeah.
accidents, not being able to heal from injuries, unexplained health problems. Those are all things that happen at the downward spiral stage.
It's almost like the universe shaking you. It's like, hey, wait, you have to be here doing this. Wake up.
Yeah,
and going through the stuff that you haven't let go and resolve too, right? Yeah.
yeah. As much as it's hard to experience in the moment, pain is a really great teacher. And sometimes we need great teachers in our lives to get to the next step. My own living nightmare was rough. It was a year of not being able to walk, being in chronic pain, not being able to take care of myself or my family in any way. Painkillers, narcotics, muscle relaxants. It was very unpleasant. But in hindsight, I realized this was part of the intuitive awakening journey. From this stage, when you've hit rock bottom, the next stage is what I call the awakening catalyst. So this is when you make the decision whether you're going to keep on going or you're going to stay where you are. If you decide to keep on going, you will likely search for alternatives. At this stage, conventional medicine may have had limited effect on our dis-ease, whatever that may be, and increased health problems catalyzes a search for alternative healing methods. For me, I went to a body talk practitioner, and a little bit of background on myself. At the time, I had finished 10 years of university in all science related subjects. So I have a degree in genetics and I have a degree in neuroscience. And when a friend of mine recommended I see an energy worker for my back problem, I was like, I've tried everything else. So, okay. Literally, that was my thought process. Can't
That's
make me
good. That's
worse.
good. That's good. Because I had an experience. I was practicing Reiki, and a lady asked me to treat her son who had an accident, and he was paralyzed, and that was in Brazil, and he was studying medicine, and so I was treating him, and then out of a sudden he started having involuntary moves on his legs, which on his left side of the brain didn't compute. It's like, oh no, this is not possible. And then he didn't want the treatment anymore.
Yeah.
He decided to stay where he was. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's journey is, their own journey and their own decision-making points along the way, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So at this stage, when we start looking for alternative answers, alternative therapies, alternative healing methods, it is at this stage that we encounter the intuitive reawakening. And this can also be described as our intuitive senses reemerge or they expand. So what I can tell you about the reawakening stage is it can happen in an instant. It can happen on a therapy table. It can happen at home after the therapy session, which is what happened to me. It can happen in meditation. It can happen because you encounter somebody in your life who has information that energetic information that reawakens your intuition. There can be lots and lots of causes, but the reawakening generally happens in an instant. You might remember what caused it, you might not, but it's the stage after that is usually also a tough one. But I'll just say what it is. I'm not going to show the slide for it. But the next stage after the intuitive reawakening, I call shock. So I'm going to leave the 12 steps of an intuitive awakening there. I'm going to leave the 6 through 12 steps for the masterclass itself.
Yeah.
So hopefully you're interested and want to join us. But yeah, so the 7th stage of the intuitive awakening is shock. But there are, 5 more stages after that to the 12th stage.
This is an awesome sneak peek to everything people will uncover on this masterclass.
Yes, exactly. And so, like I said, the remaining steps of an intuitive awakening will be covered in our first masterclass webinar. And this is our schedule for our webinar. So again, we have 6 90-minute plus webinars with 25 amazing faculty speakers. And they are Tuesdays and Fridays, starting on Tuesday, November 10th, and run until the 27th. So they will be free to watch.
Free.
For free. Yes.
Are you listening, people? Free.
If you join us in the masterclass, the webinars will run for 3 weeks, but you'll be able to watch them free for a bonus week after that. So you can watch them free until December 4th. And the live streams are at 4 p.m. Pacific on these dates, but they are available for replay until December 4th. So they're going to be live streamed in a private Facebook group and on YouTube. So I understand that not everybody has Facebook, and that's totally okay. That's why we're going to also air them on YouTube for people to watch. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the community surrounding the masterclass will be in the private Facebook group. So we're going to have intuitive activities related to each of the webinars. And so the feedback that I've gotten so far of people's biggest challenge related to their intuitive activities and what they want to get out of, what they want to learn from this masterclass, has to do with trusting their intuition and developing confidence. It's pretty much the biggest theme from people who have already enrolled in the masterclass. So these activities are going to help you do exactly that. Trusting your intuition and gaining confidence, listening to it, hearing it, and incorporating it into your life.
That is very important. Yeah, because it's amazing how we self-doubt ourselves so much about what we
Yes.
learn and our abilities.
Yeah, and it's all part of the journey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You
Exactly.
can even set to yourself, okay, universe, I want confirmation. And the universe sends you a confirmation.
Synchronicity.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a big message from the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So, Miriam, shall we share how people
Yes,
can
absolutely. So
register for
just
the
recap,
masterclass?
we've seen a sneak peek of what the master class is going to be, and it's going to be the whole month of November, and it's going to be replaying for free until December 4th.
Yes.
And then if you want to join, and then you can talk about the fee, then you can have the access for a long time or for life, or
Oh,
how does that work?
how do you get
Yeah,
access for life?
yeah.
Yes, I will share that.
All right.
Do you mind if I screen share how people can join us in the masterclass?
Perfect. Go ahead.
Okay, let's see if I can do that. So how you register for the masterclass is going to our masterclass webpage, and its address is awakening.metaphysical.school.
Perfect.
So from here,
I'll put a link down below. I don't think I put a link, but I don't remember which link I put. But I will
okay,
put that one. Okay.
okay. I could also give you the link for the metaphysical archetype quiz in case people are interested, and we could share that as well.
I think that's the one I put, but I will check.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, either way, if you are interested in joining us in the masterclass, and if you haven't already done the quiz, there is a link to the quiz in the Facebook group. So it's the very first Facebook. The Facebook groups are divided into units, and one of them is the quiz. So it makes it really easy for everybody to find, so that they too can find out which is their.
How do they join the Facebook group?
So how you join the Facebook group is you would click on the Join Now button on the awakening.metaphysical.school webpage, and it will scroll you down to where you can join. So just to show you basically what the webpage looks like, I'll scroll down to where you put your information. So again, it's free to watch, join, and participate for 3 weeks. You can watch the webinars on Facebook Live or on YouTube, and we have a private Facebook group to build community around the masterclass. If you are wondering a bunch of questions, for example, if your ringing ears, dizzy spells, or mood swings are related to your awakening, we will answer that question in the masterclass, but the short answer is yeah. There are a bunch of questions we ask, but in the masterclass, the purpose, I guess, of the masterclass itself are to reunite with your intuition, to reawaken your soul's path, and to reignite your enlightenment journey. So again, it's 3 weeks, 6 webinars, 25 speakers. The schedule is also included on the webpage, so everybody can look at it. I'm just going to scroll through it. If you're interested, you can always go back to it. Here are our amazing faculty speakers, and Miriam is included on one of these pages. Oh, and hosted by me. Of course, I think Miriam's is in the first one. Here you are.
Oh, now I recognize me.
So these are our speakers, and then this is how you join. So if you click on the Join Now button in the subject, in the header, or on at the top of the page, you'll be redirected to this part, and it tells you what you get with the Intuitive Awakening Masterclass, which is 6 live streamed webinars. You will get PDF downloads of the material that I teach for each of the webinars. There's a private Facebook community, and there are intuitive activities related to each of the webinars so that you can gain wisdom and experience with your intuition through creativity and play. So if you're interested in joining us, all you have to do is put in your name and email and click join. Your welcome email will include the link to the private Facebook group.
Oh, awesome.
Also
that's pretty easy.
Yeah, you'll also receive the sneak peek of the 12 steps of an intuitive awakening that I just shared. So all of you watching right now, you already got to see it. So those who haven't seen it, it's the PDF of what I just shared is included. And if you have any questions, there's a contact form that you can reach me at and ask questions if you have any. So again, this is how you join. Are you in?
Pretty easy.
Yeah,
on the website. It's not like click here and then open another page. Click here. There are lots of places you gotta.
If you can't remember the webpage address for this specific page, which is awakening.metaphysical.school, you can go straight to the Metaphysical School website, and there's a big announcement. Can't miss it. That says announcing the Intuitive Awakening Masterclass, join now, and then it'll go to this page. So whatever way is easiest to remember, then it's all here. And again, if you want to do the Metaphysical Archetype quiz, we can share the link, presumably, but also the link to it is included in the private Facebook group. And the private Facebook group will be the first place that will get the quiz with the results that are percentages of the intertwined metaphysical archetypes, not just one. And I'm really excited to see those results from people. Because I think it's going to show that most people are way more than 1, 2, 3, possibly all 4.
I believe that's definitely that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to stop the screen share. Now it's just the 2 of us.
Yeah.
So do you have any questions for me at all, Miriam?
Wow, I'm looking forward to starting this. It's amazing. And it's just around the corner because
it starts next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, November 10th. It's coming up. But again, if you don't start November 10th, the replays will be available until December 4th. So there's plenty of time to join. And the reason why it's extended for 4 weeks is so that people have time to watch the webinars. People have time to do the intuitive activities. And if you're interested, there will be posts where you can share your experience with the intuitive awakening or the intuitive activities, because when we share our experiences, we all learn together, right? So that's kind of a big tenet of the school as well. Each of the video courses will have, they don't have them yet, but they will have them, implementation and integration pieces for each one of the video courses. So we're starting with the Intuitive Awakening Masterclass and putting in those implementation and integration pieces right away, so that people can gain that experience and wisdom playing with their intuition. Because our intuition works best when we are in a state of creativity and inspiration and play. So yeah, that's why we're going to have really fun activities for people to do.
And then besides the masterclass, of course, there's the school people can join, right? And do you want to share a little bit of how people can join the school?
Sure. Okay. I was not prepared for that question, but so if you're interested in enrolling in the school, you can go to our website, which is metaphysical.school, and you can look around the website. You can see all of the video courses that we offer. You can see previews of each video course. They're right on the website. You can see the masterclasses. So the Intuitive Awakening Masterclass will be added, but you can also see last year's event, which is the Energy Empowerment Masterclass. You can see all of our faculty, and there is also a way to enroll. So we currently have 2 membership plans, and they both have monthly and yearly payment options. And I don't know how much detail to share about that, but so our 2 plans are, our first plan is our access plan, and it's $18 a month or $180 a year. So basically you get 2 months free for paying upfront for a year. The monthly plan is cancel anytime, and it includes access to buy our video courses. Our video courses are $8 each, and our master classes. And that's so that I can pay our teachers when people buy the videos. And the $18 a month plan gets you 1 free video, video course every month. It also gets you access to our groups and forums. And what else? And our weekly intuitive activities. So when I say Metaphysical School is about helping people to ignite their enlightenment journey.
Community.
Yeah, that's what the intuitive activities are for. It's so that you can have this process of using your intuition weekly if you want, whenever you have time. You can catch up on any activities. It's basically a big library. And if you don't want to backtrack, just start from where you are and do the activities as we go, because there are new activities added basically every week.
And then you have a forum. People should take advantage of the forum because they can ask questions to any of the teachers. Yes. And about anything of any courses.
Yeah, exactly. And you can connect with the teachers directly through our community portion of the school. So our community is not on Facebook, it's on the website itself. It's we are our own community entity. And yeah, all of the knowledge and wisdom of the Metaphysical School are divided into 8 core subjects. And basically, the 8 core subjects, 2 of the core subjects relate to each one of the metaphysical archetypes. So, for example, the healer archetype might be interested in learning more about our crystal healing and energy healing subject cycles. So we have 2 subjects, or we have 2 subjects per metaphysical archetype, and our activities are divided. It's basically 2 weeks per subject cycle, and they are archetype specific. So for example, I haven't shared this at all, but our September was our healer month, and October was the seeker month. And December, because we're skipping November because we're doing the Intuitive Awakening Masterclass. So December is the seer month, and we're focusing on divination and astrology.
Ooh.
I know.
That's awesome.
So basically, no matter what archetype you are, we will have an entire month dedicated to your archetype. And we have subject cycles every 2 weeks dedicated to 2 of the subjects that relate to that archetype. And then we also have community calls. We have 4 community calls, which are Zoom calls, so that we can connect with each other. We have 4 community calls per month, and our access membership has access to our teacher Q&As, which are 2 per month, and then our connection membership, which is $28 a month or $280 per year, gets access to 4 community calls per month. It's basically 1 a week. And with that membership, you also get 2 free video courses of your choice every month. included with your membership. So for $28, you get $16 of video courses free. Works out pretty well. And how do you get the Intuitive Awakening Masterclass for free? We're going to have a special where if you enroll in the Metaphysical School during the entire Masterclass event, so until December 4th, you will get the Intuitive Awakening Masterclass included in your membership when the course is completed. And it's going to take me a little bit of time to transfer our videos into courses and all of the activities and that sort of stuff. But once the course is completed, you will have access to the entire 6 videos of the Intuitive Awakening Masterclass.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it'll be included.
I think people should take advantage of that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Because this is like, it's foundational metaphysical information. And so even if you, even when the event
organized.
is done, yes, organized. So when the event is done, that'll be the first thing that I recommend to new students is to check out the masterclass, because it really sets up, it helps you identify where you are, where you want to be, and how to get there. Yeah.
That's awesome, Tina. Awesome. And we got to our hour in the Gregorian way of time.
Yes.
And I really appreciate that you shared the sneak peek and some information you haven't shared before. I'm really looking forward to this masterclass. Thank you for having me as one of the speakers and teachers, and it's amazing. I'm really happy about that, and happy that you accepted to come here tonight and share.
Thank you for letting me share. It's nerve-wracking to share my stuff for the first time, but because I'm sharing it with you, it makes it so much easier. So thank you for that. Thank you for allowing me to share the masterclass with other people as well.
Thank you, and I will put the links. I'm going to check what links I put there, but there will be the link for the quiz and for the enrolling page for sure.
Cool.
And
thank you.
We are all waiting for you. So you're a click away from joining us on this journey during times of change for the planet, it's exciting. There's lots of chaos happening around, but the focus we should be taking, I don't know if I'm saying that in English right, but the focus should be raising your vibes, awakening your intuition, and getting to know yourself, your path, and spreading light. That's what we should all be focusing on right now, because the new earth that is being born is beautiful. It's exciting. So it's a very exciting moment. And it's an exciting moment to have an opportunity like your school and your master class. And we should just be celebrating.
Thank you.
So,
it's all starting right now. Yep.
Yeah. So please share this information with whoever you feel that it's going to resonate with. Click like and all the blah blah blahs from the YouTube. I don't take anything too serious, because the focus should be spreading light. And if we keep, like too serious on things, we get stressed, and we shouldn't be stressed right now. We should be celebrating.
I will try to take that.
Breathe.
Integrate that into myself as well.
Everything is happening already, and you are amazing. We're all amazing, and we should be celebrating this amazingness. All right, and we'll click the end stream right now. See you at the master class.